Academy. Science Academy is a free resource for students, teachers, and parents to explore all kinds of scientific subjects through experiments and activities that you can do at home. I'm meteorologist Kat Taylor, and in this episode, we will use everyday materials to grow our very own crystal. Now, plan to do your experiment in the kitchen, and just a heads up, this project will take a few days. You will need hot water from the tap, potassium alum, and this is something that you can get in the spice aisle, the canning aisle, or on online shopping. It'll run you about $6. You'll need fishing line, a pencil or a ruler, or even a knife, something long enough to help hold up the fishing line later on. You'll need 2 clean jars, a spoon, measuring spoon, a half-cup measuring cup, and either a paper towel or a couple coffee filters. All right, for this first step, we're gonna start by pouring a half cup of hot tap water into your jar or vase or whatever you can use that's tall enough that can hold liquid. So we're gonna put that half cup very carefully in there. It is hot. And then you are going to measure out 2.5 tablespoons of alum. I'm gonna put on my coffee filter, and that's gonna help me kind of pour it in slowly. So that's kind of the key here. So 2.5 tablespoons, so 1, 2, and then I need to find the half tablespoon here. All right. So next, you're going to very slowly put it into your jar and stir it up until it no longer dissolves. So we're just gonna keep slowly kind of incorporating it in here, so just a little bit at a time, and then we'll just kind of stir it up until it dissolves. So I'm gonna keep doing this until it no longer wants to dissolve at the bottom. This may take several minutes. And once it stops kind of dissolving here at the bottom, we're going to cover your jar with a coffee filter or paper towel, and you're gonna place the jar somewhere on your counter where it won't be disturbed. Now we're gonna wait for 24 hours for this to evaporate and create the beginnings of our crystals. Okay, it's been 24 hours, actually a little longer because the alum that we had was not good. It was more of in a powder form rather than a crystal form. So if you're looking for alum, the best bet is to buy it at the store in the spice aisle, and it'll look more like table salt rather than a powder. So it's been actually 48 hours, and we've had to restart the experiment, which happens in science, but we did get some crystals to form in the bottom of our jar. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually going to pour the water from this jar into a clean second jar. Go ahead and pour it out. If there's any crystals at the bottom, try not to let them get into this new jar. And now you're actually gonna be left with crystals here at the bottom. So take your spoon and fish out what is a crystal nuclei. So we're gonna use this small crystal as a way for more crystalline structures to build upon this structure. So this is basically called a crystal nuclei. So this is gonna take a second. I'm gonna actually kind of chop this up and get some of these crystals out of here. And find one that you kind of like with cool facets. This one looks really cool. So this is gonna be our crystal nuclei that we use. So you're gonna take your fishing line and you're gonna measure it to where the end of it can kind of hang in the middle with a little bit of extra, and measure to the top of your glass and cut it. Once you have that cut, make 2 little loops on either end. And on one end, you are going to actually tie this around your seed crystal here. It's gonna be a little difficult. So once you get this end tied around the seed crystal, you're going to actually tie the other end around your pencil, knife, spoon, whatever you got, and you're gonna hang it in the jar here. All right, so next, once you got your crystal attached, you're going to put the other end on a pencil or a fork, and what you're going to do is you're gonna settle it in there so it just kind of hangs freely in the liquid. Cover the jar with a coffee filter once again, or paper towel, whatever works for you. And you're going to leave it undisturbed for another 24 hours or longer until you're happy with its size. You will have to stop growing the crystal once the solution starts to expose the top of it. It just won't grow any longer once it's exposed to air. So if you don't see the crystal growth within a day or two, there isn't enough alum in the liquid. So gently heat the liquid over a stove or in the microwave and try adding more alum powder. We'll be back once again in another 24 hours. Now you can leave this for a few days, but when you feel like it's done growing, take it out and dry it off with a paper towel. You don't want to wash the crystal because if you do, it will redissolve. It's water soluble. So once you get your crystal the size that you want it, just keep in mind that once it's exposed to air, it will eventually turn milky white. So if you want to keep your crystal clear forever, just paint it with some clear nail polish. Now sometimes these can get pretty big if you leave them over several days. Crystals form through a process called crystallization, which is when liquid solidifies into a highly structured solid. While crystals can form when liquid rock called magma cools, they can also form from other liquids. Solutions containing minerals can become concentrated by evaporation and deposit crystals. We modeled that today. Over time, these crystals can grow to become very, very large. And now you know all about crystallization. If you would like to complete this activity at home, you can find detailed instructions on KTIV.com.